I think this movie is so much fun. Let's do it. Happy Death Day is about this girl named Teresa who goes by Tree. She's in college, and one morning after a night of drinking, she wakes up in this random dorm room. Turns out it's the dorm of this kid Carter who greets Tree when she wakes up. Now, it turns out it's Tree's birthday, and we know that because she's woken up by her phone ringing and it's singing a birthday song. Carter's roommate comes in and finds them, and Tree leaves. Well, honestly, we see that Tree's kind of a huge bitch. She's rude to Carter. She walks out and sees this girl trying to get her to sign a petition. She's rude to her. She ignores calls from her dad. She's rude to some of her sorority sisters. Eventually, she gets back to her room where she sees her roommate Lori, who tries to give her this cupcake for her birthday. And Tree straight up just takes it and throws it in the trash. Like, she's a bitch. On top of it all, we then find out that Tree is having an affair with a married man who is her professor. That night, Tree goes to a party, but she is lured into this tunnel by this like singing toy thing. When she gets in there, she sees this fucking thing who proceeds to stab her and kill her. But then she once again wakes up in Carter's dorm. And the events from the day before start repeating themselves. So Carter says the same thing, the roommate says the same thing, the petition girl is still there. So Tree is really freaked out, but eventually it gets to that night and she decides that this time she is going to avoid that tunnel. She gets to the party, which ends up being a surprise party for her. So Tree kind of relaxes and she goes up to a room with this guy who proceeds to be killed by the babyface killer. And he kills Tree as well, but you guessed it, she wakes up in Carter's room again. The events once again repeat themselves, everything exactly the same, and this night Tree decides that she's not going to go to the party, she's actually going to barricade herself in her room. But it turns out the killer's already there and he kills her again. So Tree wakes up in Carter's room again, and at this point she's fucking lost it. So Carter comforts her and she explains to him the whole thing, and he immediately believes her. He tells her, like, this is obviously happening for a reason, and maybe it's so that you can identify the killer so you can stop them. Tree starts to do exactly that, and she starts to hunt down different suspects, including this one guy she went on a date with and one girl from her sorority house. But the killer keeps finding her and killing her every time. As this is happening, we can see that Tree is getting more and more fond of Carter. He does the loop again, and this time the killer bludgeons her with the bat, and we get this really cool shot of her just falling back onto her bed. She ends up getting out of bed after that, and she collapses. Carter brings her to the hospital where she's treated by Dr. Gregory, the guy she's having an affair with. Weird. He's like, I've looked at your brain scans and like, you should be dead. Like, what kind of trauma have you been going through? Then Tree sees that the killer has followed her to the hospital. She manages to steal a car and escape, and she's pulled over by a cop who she makes arrest her. But then the killer kills the cop and also kills Tree. She wakes up again in Carter's room and has to once again convince him of what's happening because obviously he doesn't know. He believes her when she's able to predict every event. She's like, sprinklers, he's gonna fall, this is gonna happen, and obviously she's right about everything. He agrees to help her, and a little bit later, she sees this news report of this serial killer named John Toombs that is being held at the hospital that she was just at the time before. She assumes that he is her killer and he's gonna escape from the hospital, and that's how he gets to her at the party. Tree gets to the hospital and tries to warn everybody that he's about to escape, but of course nobody believes her. Eventually, Toombs does get out of his room and attacks Tree and tries to kill her. Carter shows up and saves her, but Toombs proceeds to snap his neck and kill him. Toombs then chases Tree, but she is able to get the upper hand and she is about to kill him with a crowbar. But then she remembers, Carter's dead in this universe, I will never see him again. So instead, she hangs herself and wakes up again the next day with a restart. So she hugs Carter and she's confident now that she knows who the killer is so she can defeat him. We see throughout all of this she's had some great character development. So she makes up with her father, she stands up for one of her sorority sisters. She's just a much better person than the Tree we met at the start. She also breaks up with this fucking loser. And that night she goes to the hospital where she has the upper hand. She knows what to expect and she kills Toombs. She thinks she's won, she's relieved, and her and Carter go back to her dorm where she eats the cupcake that Lori made her. She wakes up the next morning back in the loop. She's fucking horrified. She doesn't know what to do. She ends up going back to her dorm where she's packing up her shit because she wants to just leave. And Lori once again meets her and offers her the cupcake, and that's when it clicks in Tree's mind. I ate that cupcake last night before I went to bed and I died in my sleep. This trifling bitch. It's revealed that she did poison the cupcake, and the reason that she did is because she's jealous of Tree's affair with Gregory because she was seeing him too. And because Tree didn't eat the cupcake, she had to kill her the old-fashioned way. And Lori works at the hospital where Toombs was and framed him because he was an easy out. Lori attacks Tree and a fight ensues between the two of them, but Tree manages to grab the cupcake and shove it into Lori's mouth, which makes her panic because she knows it's poisoned. As she's distracted by that, Tree grabs onto the chandelier and kicks Lori out the window and she falls to her death. Tree meets up with Carter, she explains the whole thing to him, and he offers her to stay with him because obviously she can't stay in her room because it's a crime scene. When Tree wakes up the next morning, it's to the same ringtone and to Carter saying the same thing. But just as she's about to panic, Carter is like, just kidding, it's the next day, you made it, and they kiss and the movie ends.